Hello, Sagittarius. I hope that you're well today. I want to make sure my mic is on. It is. Okay. Hope you're doing well today. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and these are your predictions for October 2025. I apologize for the delay. I wasn't feeling well, and I wanted to be better mentally as well as physically since I strained my back last week prior to doing your reading. So, again, apologize for the delay, but here we are, my dear. I've set the intention of this reading to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. So if you have Sagittarius in any of those placements, odds are there's a little message in this reading for you today. Also, keep in mind, it's a collective general reading. That means it's not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that do not fully resonate, and if that happens, it's okay. Just means that one message is meant for someone else watching. So just take what fits, how it fits, and leave what doesn't. With all of that said, let's begin. It's a beautiful day here where I am in New Jersey in the United States of America, and I hope it's beautiful wherever you are as well. And let's hop into the Sagittarius collective now. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus, what does Sag need to know for October 2025? What does Sagittarius need to know for October 2025? One more shuffle here. Thank you. In the heart of your spread, we have the Nine of Cups. In the top row, you have the Phoenix, you have Judgment, and you have the Knight of Cups. Flanking your Nine of Cups is the Five of Swords and the Page of Swords. And in the bottom row, you have Two of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the World card. Sneak peek now into November. I can't believe November, but we are. We're like 3 weeks away from November. You have the Six of Cups, you have the Ten of Swords, and you have the Seven of Wands. And that leaves the High Priestess, the Moon, and the Fool. Wow, Fool to the World card at the bottom of the deck. I've seen this for several of the signs this month, where October seems to be a setup for what is transpiring in November. Let's clarify these cards quickly here for you so we can get to your message. I'm using the After Tarot deck to clarify the messages. Images are slightly different in this deck, and therefore the meanings of the cards are different as well. So we'll go through them as necessary for your reading today. But right now, I just want to get the cards on the table for you. So tapping into the Sagittarius collective now for Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What do they need to know for October 2025? We're clarifying the Phoenix, Judgment, Knight of Cups, Five of Swords, Nine of Cups, Page of Swords, Two of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and the World card. For Saggy, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Phoenix is being clarified by the Three of Swords. Judgment is clarified by the Two of Cups. The Knight of Cups is clarified by the Three of Pentacles. The Five of Swords is clarified by the Fool. The Nine of Cups is clarified by the King of Cups. The Page of Swords is clarified by the Page of Wands. The Two of Cups is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. And the World is clarified by the Four of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands for November, followed by the Five of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. And that leaves the Seven of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Six of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you're getting ready to move on from something or someone or a dream, a wish, something. Let's see where we go with the message. The heart of your spread is your overall energy for the month of October. That is the Nine of Cups to the King of Cups. The Nine of Cups. Very singular energy, whether you are single or partnered, kind of irrelevant to this portion of the reading anyway. This is you. This is you feeling emotionally content, trying to make yourself happy, investing in situations, environments, or connections that invest in you equally or bring you a sense of joy, bring you a sense of happiness, add to your overall emotional contentment. The King of Cups in the After Tarot deck is unique because the King of Cups is pouring out an Ace of Cups. I feel like this is you saying, I no longer want to accept opportunities or connections from individuals if they're not aligned with my dreams or my goals. I feel like you are moving away from the fantasy of being with someone, moving away from the dream that things would work out with a particular situation. I feel like whoever this other person is, whether it's a professional connection, a platonic one, meaning a friend or a family member, or maybe a lover, it could be a whole host of people here in your life. I don't know. It's a collective general reading. I just feel like you're not willing to invest in anyone who is not adding to your happiness. It's almost like an outright rejection that if If it subtracts from my Nine of Cups, I'm not interested in it. And I'm okay. I'm emotionally balanced. I'm not saying no from an erratic place. I just know what makes me happy and I know what doesn't. And I'm okay with saying no to the people, places, and things that, I don't know, um, threaten your happiness or, like I said, subtract from it in some way. You're entering the month as the Phoenix to the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords in the After Tarot deck is healing. The swords are out of the heart. The heart is bandaged. So you're healing. So you've gone through something traumatic. And I don't know when that happened for you. It could have happened in the month of September. It could have happened 2 years ago. It could have happened 5 years ago. I don't know. I do know that the pain or the loss, the ache of it was still lingering with you. And you're entering the month of October being stronger because of what you had gone through. You're definitely healing. This is definitely mending of the heart. This is also like, with that Phoenix card, yeah, it's the Phoenix rising from the ashes, but it's saying, I'm strong now. I'm strong enough now because of this heartache that I can be more discerning with who or what I let into my life. And I'm okay with saying no. Again, I'm okay with saying no because I don't want to feel this again. You then have Judgment to the Two of Cups. I feel like you are going within in the month of October and you're making a judgment call in respect to partnerships in general. Now, for some of you, it might just be one partnership, but I feel like it's partnerships in general. Again, the Two of Cups is, as a reader, I look at the Ace of Cups as self-love or the opportunity to connect with another individual. Once we get to the Two of Cups, it's now my cup and your cup, right? We're equally exchanging. And so there's a mutual understanding, or at least an understanding on your part, that the exchange should be mutual in nature, right? I take from your cup, you take from my cup. And it's very reciprocal. I just feel like this is in respect to like all connections in your life. You're like making the judgment call that they need to be reciprocal in nature. I'm not going to just keep giving a cup to people who don't have a cup to return to me. And I'm not going to give a cup to individuals when the cup that they're returning to me is poison. Like the moment I sense that, I'm dumping the cup out. So I just feel like greater discernment here when it comes to connections and the type of connections that you have in your life or that you want in your life. I don't think you're closing your heart off, which is amazing because to have the Phoenix card to that Three of Swords in the After Tarot deck, you went through something monumental here. This wasn't just like, a little squabble with a friend and you made up 5 minutes later. This is big because whatever that heartache was, or the disappointment, or the grief, or the loss, again, whenever that trauma happened, is irrelevant. The fact is that you went through it and you're coming into the month of October healing because of it, healing through it, and it has radically transformed you in that Phoenix energy. And I think that's why moving forward, there's greater discernment now when it comes to any connection in your life. And you're not closing your heart off. That's the amazing part. You're like, I'm willing to work. Three of Pentacles to the Knight of Cups. I'm willing to work on connections that are beneficial to me, that bring a sense of joy and happiness. If it's romantic connection, it's one that's flirty. I don't want to say that it's like one on your terms, but it would be the type of romantic connection that adds to those 9 cups, right? Because 9s are very singular in tarot. And so if we're going to exchange a romantic cup with someone, it needs to be that 10th cup, right? They can't take us to the 8 of Cups. They can't subtract from us. Their cup has to now bring me into the 10 of Cups. And so, yeah, I don't feel like you're closing your heart off to anything or anyone. You would be willing to work on the connection, provided the cup that's being exchanged with you adds to those 9 that you already have. 5 of Swords to the Fool card. I feel like this is a new you. I think in the past, please don't take offense to this because we've all been in that state. I think in the past, I'm not sure you truly, truly loved yourself. And I think that you were willing to gamble when it came to exchanging a cup with another individual, whether it's professional, platonic, or romantic. I think you just wanted that exchange. You wanted that connection and you're willing to gamble. Maybe it's love in that cup. Maybe it's respect. Maybe it's admiration. Maybe it's poison. Who knows? We'll see when I drink it. But because you're more discerning now, it's like you're showing up in connections differently. The ones in your life and the ones that will be entering your life in the future, there's still this feeling of, I'm just showing up differently. And the 5 of Swords card I like because it's like, I'm not arguing with anyone about this. If I want to close myself off, if I want to accept a cup, if I don't want to accept someone's cup, someone's opportunity, someone's offer, I'm not going to argue about it. I'm finally at a place that I know what is good for me and what isn't good for me. And it's because I've gone through hell to get here. I've gone through hell and back. I don't need to revisit it. And I'm not going to argue about showing up differently, showing up in connections differently, and accepting or declining anyone's offer or opportunity, whether it's romantic or not. Page of Swords to the Page of Wands. This says, I will be more discerning moving forward. The Page of Wands is the minor arcana card to the Fool card. It's someone who will discover the information they need prior to just accepting any old cup or any old opportunity to connect with another individual. This is energy of like way more discerning. So something back there bit you in the butt pretty harshly. For some of you, I mean, this was real heartbreak. This was real heart loss or something extremely emotionally disappointing. And I just think you're cautiously optimistic, again, willing to open up your heart. This, for most people, like for an individual to get here means they've gone through a Tower moment, a 10 of Swords, maybe 5 of Swords, a 7 of Swords, a 3 of Swords, right? This is powerful stuff because whatever wound that was, it changed you. You're completely different now. So I feel like now, yes, I'm open, I'm willing to connect, I'm willing to explore, I'm willing to entertain opportunities, entertain people, but man, am I going to vet them before I jump into any new connections, regardless of who they are. 2 of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like this is you. This is like, I want the real deal. Remember that Judgment card here where you're like, I'm reevaluating the connections in my life, the ones I have, the ones that may be coming in the future. I feel like this is you saying, I want the real deal. And if it's not the real deal, then Wheel of Fortune to the 9 of Pentacles, again, 9 being singular, then I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to do it on my own. I'm okay with being alone. I'm okay with being by myself until the right cup comes along, because I'm no longer just accepting any old cup. Last time I did that, I nearly died, figuratively speaking. So just, I want the real deal. And then you have the World card to the 4 of Swords. I feel like this is you being completely healed, like from that 3 of Swords that you entered the month healing. I feel like you are completely healed from that heartbreak by the end of the month. The World card signifies a completion. The 4 of Swords is healing. I feel like you healed the wound within yourself, Sag, where in the past you probably would have taken this person's opportunity or offer or cup of love or whatever that is there. And I feel like now moving forward, you'll never do that again, either with that person or just with other people in general. I do think you're walking away from someone, but I don't think you're doing that until the month of November. I think the month of October is you more or less restructuring how you perceive connections, what they should be like, what they should feel like, how they should add to your life. And that's why I just feel like this is like a movement towards discernment. And then in November, I do see you moving on from someone in your past. And I don't know who this is, a friend, a family member, a lover, maybe a coworker you stayed in touch with over the years. It could be your neighbor for all I know. I just see you, because you're going through this transformative phase and you're healing this wound within yourself and you're being more discerning and cautiously optimistic about any new opportunities you get to connect with people. When we look into November, and I'm going to start doing these bi-monthly, so in another week or two, I'll roll out the ones for the first 2 weeks of November. We'll see more what this is about. But 6 of Cups, 10 of Swords, 7 of Wands. I do see you here tapping into your intuition, High Priestess, based upon what you've gone through in the past and making this decision to end a connection in your life with an individual. Now, if you're not completely ending the connection because you've ended it already, then I think this is like the final energetic cord cutting, if you will, and moving on. So for some of you, you're going to physically do it. You're ending the connection. For others of you, you've already exited it, whether you did it by force or by choice, okay? Because for some of you, that person left you. For others of you, you left that person, or they disengaged with you, or you disengaged with them. So for those of you where you did it in the past, I think you were still kind of holding on to that person energetically. But in November, I see that cord being cut completely. And you're okay with it in the 7 of Wands. You're like, I have to do this. I have to protect myself. I don't want to be tied to this person anymore. I don't want to think about them anymore. And for those of you where that person is still lingering while you're going through this, I don't know, this new cycle of your life, this new phase of your life where you're becoming more discerning in respect to connections, I feel then, yes, this would be an actual person that you're moving on from in the month of November. We have the 3 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. This whole process here of seeing things differently and getting a different perspective on connections and understanding what you went through back there and how you don't ever want to feel that again. And therefore, the responsibility is on you to be more discerning in respect to the connections in your life. Yeah, you are moving forward thanks to this enlightenment. You're either energetically, like I said, in that Five of Pentacles card, energetically abandoning that connection once and for all because you walked away from it in the past, or you, like I said, you are walking away from this person in the month of November. It'll be different for all of you because everyone's on a different point of the timeline, but there is a timeline shift moving away from a connection. And like I said, by the time you get into November, by the end of November, you will have all moved on from that individual to some degree. Seven of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Six of Swords. Yeah, and again, we have the High Priestess. So both decks here show that High Priestess card, and then I've got the Eight of Cups here as well. So I do see you moving on from that individual, again, either energetically or physically detaching from them. And now you're planting seeds of abundance for the future. You're moving on. You're contemplating your future here in the month of November, very future focused. Some of you may actually think about traveling to get away from this person. Others of you, you're giving heavy consideration to relocation because you want to be as physically away from this person as you can be. I just see you very future focused. That Six of Swords to that Sun card, that's like I'm in search of true happiness, right? That 10th cup, because the Sun card for me is 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. We have you in the nines here. So it's like I'm in search of that Ace of Pentacles. I'm in search of that Ace of Cups that will add to the nines that I'm already in. So you could be in search of a new business partnership here, friends, new people in your life, maybe a new romantic partner. I don't think this person or these people are coming in November, but you seem to be more open to getting out there into the world and trying to connect with like-minded individuals that, like I said, will add to your happiness, not subtract or detract from it. In the other deck, you have the High Priestess, the Moon, and the Fool. Yeah, it's like despite these doubts, fears, and insecurities, which maybe in the past would have kept me tied to this individual physically, financially, energetically, spiritually, I no longer want that. I'm okay with severing that tie and having that new beginning. You have two Fool cards here, one in the month of October and then another one here in the month of November. Let's get into some oracle cards and we'll close it out with some kippers, but way more discerning when it comes to connections. Let's get one card here for that top row, middle row here, and the final row. Okay. You have power of prayer. Give this situation to God for uplifting and healing and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance God gives to you in response to those prayers. So some of you may have a difficult time here in the month stumbling on connections, especially the ones that are still in your life. I don't think you'll have an issue discerning good from bad in the future, but it might be tough going through the cerebral process here of thinking about who you're going to let go, especially if it's one particular person. So I would definitely pray. You can pray to Archangel Michael. You can pray to your ascended masters, whatever entities you believe in, universe, source, God, Jesus, Muhammad. I would definitely try to connect with that higher power and ask them for the courage and strength you need, and also the clarity of mind that you need to make this decision. You then have quiet retreat. Yeah, quiet the mind. It's time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern, there's that word again, discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from your inner world. Create a quiet time for yourself. So this definitely talks about meditation, quiet time alone, connecting with your higher self, connecting with your spirit guides and your angels so you can have clarity about what to do next. And then you have a raise. Yeah, I think you are raising your vibration here. And that's because I think you're deciding not to entangle yourself with individuals who, like I said, detract from your happiness. It says here, congratulations. There will be an increase in your abundance. That is what awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and your willingness to take action based on your divine guidance, which you're asking for here in the beginning of the month. And it says, keep up the good work. Let's get a couple more oracle cards here for my Saggies. One card here, please, for that top row, middle row. You got two for the middle row, if that's okay, and two for the final row as well. So, top row, supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. I told you this whole process is you officially cutting the cord to someone. Move beyond your limitations and trust. Sorry for the scratchy voice. Seasons are changing here in New Jersey, in the United States, so there's a little allergy here. I also had a bit of a sore throat the other day. Thank God for chai tea. It's helping, but not quick enough. You have expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. And then you have focus intention. Think about what you desire, set your sights high, and expect the best possible outcome. Yeah, I think you're very focused when it comes to connections here this month and deciding which ones you want to keep, which ones you don't, and what types of connections you will allow in the future. You have call to action, take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. So it could be for one of you watching. In the past, you may have been able to very easily give the advice to someone of, she's no good for you, he's no good for you, you can find better, move on. But maybe that was advice you didn't take yourself. And I feel like this month you are being the best friend to yourself that you have been to others in the past. And I think you're starting to take your own advice when it comes to connections. And then you have karma releasing. Yeah, I think you're letting go of a karmic contract here, possibly several. Move beyond the drama, create your own path, and make room now for the good energy. I do think you have better people coming into your life in your future, but whomever or whatever this is, you seem to be cutting cords with them. And it all begins by you doing the internal work to decide, as my friend says, what's a good witch and what's a bad witch. That's what it looks like. 2 cards here for that top row, middle row. Can't make it up. Thank you. In the top row, you have main male and you have judication on its side. You could be the main male, you could be a main female. I don't read body parts. This could also be the individual that you're considering walking away from or officially cutting the cord with. We have judication on the side. You have, in the beginning of the month, within that first week, it's something you're starting to think about, but you haven't fully executed that. Judication card for me would be you making the judgment call. I think in the beginning of the month, you're just making the judgment call in respect to all connections in your life. When we get to the latter part of the month, you seem to be making a call here in respect to at least one particular connection in your life. And then you have house is on its side and you have bad health. So I think what you're realizing is connecting. Remember, I kept saying you're drinking the poison from this person. Yeah, I think this person has been bad for your health, whether that's your financial health, your emotional health, psychological health. God, I hope not physical health, but if that's the case, my prayers are with you. Please get out of that situation. But whoever this individual was, or again, this type of person, they, were detrimental to you. I just heard shatter. They shattered your stability. So at some point in time, this person affected your stability and they were bad for your health in some way. At the end of the month, we have gift and we have distant horizons on the side. I think this is a gift that you're giving to yourself. I think your life will be very different in 2026. I don't think this person will be in your life whatsoever. I don't even think that you will be thinking about them. Right now, you're not very future focused, but the gift you're about to give to yourself, which is coming in November, in respect to officially cutting the cord with this person, I think that will then change your life within the next 3 to 6 months. Right now, you still seem to be a little undecided about cutting the cord officially. I think come November, that's when you'll be doing it. You have mature woman, child, and thief. And then you have that new journey card. Oh, and coffin. Yeah, this is a little further out. I don't think you're nurturing this connection anymore. And I think in the month of November, you will officially close it out, move on from this person. I think you're also going to move on from the hope that you kind of been clinging to, hoping that they would change or they would choose you, or I don't know, they would return differently. I think what you're realizing is all you've done is lose time or lose money with this person. They've taken enough from you, and that thief card. And I think come November, you'll officially close it out. And then we go to the privileged lady card, which is very much 9 of Pentacles. So I do see you eventually becoming free and independent of this energy. But for right now, the month of October seems to be more focused around you trying to get a better handle of what types of connections you want in your life. And yeah, by the end of the month, you seem to be more resolute about exactly what that is and who qualifies to be in your life and who doesn't. That's what I have for you, Saggy, for the month of October 2025. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, maybe just found them to be helpful, please be sure to click like, share, and subscribe. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.